Hey there, technical issues, but I think we're live now, and if you're with me, I'm so glad you're here. My name's Angela Sackett, and I write for dancingwithmyfather.net as well as saletlux.com. Saletlux is S-A-L-E-T-L-U-X, and that's Latin for salt and light. Salt at Lux is where I write about hospitality, a little bit of home design, and share fun recipes, all with the goal of encouraging you to welcome others into your home as an incredible vehicle to share God's love. So I'm so thankful you're here today. It's the middle of summer. Some of you are already, I think, going back to school, but up in the north it's sweltering hot and we're still on break. And so today I wanted to make for you some Summery Popsicles. I have to admit I'm feeling a little sassy today. I just got my hair cut by my fabulous Larissa from the Little Hair Studio. And I was watching a little show this morning that got me a little fired up, and I have some thoughts I want to share with you all. So if you're there and you're going with me, I'm getting sassy today. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you my friend Jordan's raspberry avocado popsicle recipe, which might sound a little crazy, but I promise it's delicious. And we're going to tweak it just a little bit from her original recipe. So we're going to take about a quarter of an avocado. I'm going to cut this one in half, and then if you haven't done this before, you should be able just to pull your avocado right out of there. Now, I have to tell you, this is my least favorite thing about avocados. They're almost ready, and then too far gone. So we're going to ad-lib since we're on live today, and I'm just going to tell you about this one. We're going to put two containers, or a little over 2 cups of raspberries, into a jar. You can do this in your blender as well, but I'm going to use my stick blender for you guys today so you can see it. I have about a tablespoon of honey in here. We're going to put in 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice, and then about a quarter of an avocado, and we're just going to blend that up together, and that's our first popsicle of the morning. Afternoon, that's right, it's afternoon. So I will share again these recipes as well on saletlux.com. The second recipe that we're going to do, and this one I'll actually make because I don't have yucky avocados, but we're going to do a twist on a strawberry mojito. So we're going to do strawberries, lime juice, coconut milk, the full fat canned coconut milk, some coconut flakes, and we're going to mix those together as well. While I'm doing that, I'm going to take this opportunity to go on my little rant. So as you know, I love to encourage others to open up your homes, to open up your hearts, and welcome others in. And the reason I'm making popsicles is because I'm going to invite over some of my son's neighbor friends, and we're going to have popsicles together. And actually one of our favorite things to do is to have those kiddos over to cook together. And a couple of them have foodie parents, and they love real food. And this morning I was watching one of my favorite TV chefs, and I will not say the name, although it was a female, and she was talking about making a meal for a get-together for some of her child's friends. And she was talking about bringing in some veggies into that meal. And over again, she kept saying, I'm going to hide these in the vegetable, I'm going to hide these in the dish, I'm going to hide this, they'll never know it's there. She was putting spinach in the dish. And I kept thinking, why do we as parents or as grown-ups think we have to hide good vegetables for kids? And I think it's really important. We have a little garden, and I'm not the best at it yet, but I'm working on it. And one of my favorite things is how every morning our kids wake up and they run to the windows or they run outside to see what's growing. And I think that's so important for them to learn what God made that's real, that's clean, that's for their bodies, that's healthy and delicious. So I just want to encourage you, if you're a parent, a grandparent, if you're a grown-up that has borrowed kiddos, not to just assume that kids won't like healthy food, and especially vegetables and fruits, because they're delicious. And I think rather than trying to hide it, I just want to encourage us all to think about teaching kids to like it, to try new things. So that's why strawberry avocado popsicles, and I'm going to do now the strawberry mojito. Anybody out there watching? If so, what do you think about my little rant?
Jessie Vargas says, I'm loving your hair.
Ah, thank you. Feeling sassy today, Jess. So we're going to put about a cup of strawberries in here. And I'm not making a full batch of any of these. I am a little ADD, and I like to have lots of flavor. So we're doing a small batch of each one. I have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice I'm going to put in. we're going to do a cup of full-fat canned coconut milk. Now, if you wanted to, you could do a yogurt in this, but the coconut milk is going to give it a lot of nutritional value, and it's also got the great flavor. And then we have coconut flakes. And again, I'll post all the measurements of these on the website so that you can make these at home yourself. And all we're going to do, I'm just using a little canning jar, woo! And we're going to blend that up a little at a time. If you want to, like I said, you could also use in your blender. And it's super pretty as well. I love that. So if you're out there and you are watching live, I would love to have questions. Also, if you have favorite recipes that you like to make with summer treats with fresh fruits and vegetables, please share those because I always need new recipes. All right, almost there. I'm going to leave that a little bit unblended because I like the variation in color. You can even do this in layers if you wanted to. You could do your strawberries and then your coconut milk. You can also dip these once they're frozen in a little bit more coconut milk and it'll freeze, and then add the coconut flakes.
What coconut milk do you use?
Oh, I'm not going to tell you the brand online because I think I'm not supposed to do that, but I will tell you it's one of the common, can you still see me? I'm stepping out here. Hang on one sec. It's one of the more common brands, and if you private message me, I will tell you what brand I use, but I use a canned coconut milk. It's full fat, and it doesn't have any extra additives. So I have used quite a few different brands, and I've liked them all. All right, so we've got that one together, and I'm going to just go ahead and pour that into the mold here. And they're super pretty. So that lime is going to give it a little bit of tartness. The coconut flakes are going to give it, wow, I'm making a mess. It's a messy day. The coconut flakes are going to give it a little bit more texture, which I love. And now we're going to go to our last recipe, and the last recipe is going to be super unusual, maybe for some of you. When we lived in Florida, we had a farmer's market that we absolutely loved in St. Pete, and there was a little popsicle stand. And the Saturdays that we would go down there, that was one of our favorite treats. They always had funky flavors like pineapple habanero and mojito. And so this is one that kind of reminds me of those days. So we're going to do about a cup of blueberries. And I'm not going to measure for you here. I'm going to eye it. If you stay with me in the kitchen very long, you'll know that I have trouble with formulaic recipes, especially baking, because I do not follow recipes well. I like to experiment. Anybody out there like to experiment? So I like recipes that don't require specific measurements. And when I do have those kind of recipes, I call my daughter because she's good with numbers and she likes things precise. All right, that's probably a hearty cup there. I think that will be good. I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of almond milk. Blueberries have a gelling property of their own. So you'll notice if you were to make this and let it sit for any period of time, it's going to kind of gel up, which I like the texture of that in a popsicle. It's yummy. Basil leaves, and I'm going to use, I've got 2 little sprigs here that we pulled off of our plant this morning. I'm going to guess it's about a hearty tablespoon if I were to chop it all up, but because I'm using the stick blender, I don't have to do that. So I'm just going to pull the leaves off and drop them in there. And then I also started, I don't know if I said this, with a tablespoon of honey in this recipe as well. So we're going to do the same thing, just blend that up. I love the way the leaves kind of mix right in there, and I'm not hiding them since my rant happened. I always tell this story, my littlest, when I used to buy, actually my littlest and my middle son, whenever I would buy fresh herbs at the grocery store, before I could even get to the checkout, they would eat the herbs right off the plant, and I'd get there with a naked little plant. So my kids like herbs, but a little bit of advice I guess I have on that is 2 things. One, if you have little ones, start them off from the beginning. I think traditionally we give babies rice cereal or these plain things in the beginning. But it's not necessarily the most nutritious for them, and it also, I don't think, really expands their palate. So be brave with your little ones. We would cut an avocado, a 1/4 of an avocado, and just scoop it out and kind of mash it as we fed them. It's super nutrition packed for them, and it's also a great way to start expanding their palate even when they're little. And herbs, fresh herbs, have also great nutritional value. So even when they're really little, expand their palates. My friend Jordan has been the queen of that. From the time her babies were very little, she started introducing real food and a variety of foods to them, and they love anything. They're willing to try anything. Also, just want to encourage you too, when you welcome people into your home, take that as an opportunity to try new things, to use real food, whole food. I have a friend who is just an incredible example to me of being a relaxed homemaker and a relaxed hostess. And one of the things that I appreciate is that she does hearty foods when she has people over for a meal, but they're not super fancy either. But they incorporate real whole foods, fresh fruits and vegetables. And I think as a host, that's a way that you can really use having people into your home as an opportunity to bless them with real food, and especially kiddos. So I want to dare you, quit trying to hide the veggies in the kids' food and encourage them to try something new. Rant over, I think, maybe. All right, so I'm just going to pour this right in here, and I am going to freeze these up. And I promise you, I will make a batch of the raspberry avocado. I have some other avocado that's ripe and not too far ripe, and we will whip that up. So again, if you are watching live and you like what you see, I would love if you click like on the Salt at Lux page, as well as like on this video post. If you love what you see, then please share it with your friends, because I would love to share what we're doing. And leave a comment below if you have recipes, favorite summer recipes, favorite recipes to use from what's in the garden right now in the summer. And any comments or questions before we go?
Miss
Awesome.
Aline says she's watching from Amsterdam.
That is so cool. You just made my day, girl. Thank you. That is awesome. One of my favorite hosts of all time, Aline. Very cool. I want one of your recipes to share next time. All right. Thank you so much. Please like Salt at Lux, and if you click over to the saltatlux.com page and sign up to receive our newsletter, I've got some treats and recipes and free downloads to share as well. Have a great day. Thanks so much.